Midnight passed, and the clock kept ticking, like it was mocking me. The darkness outside my window didn't change. The night had decided it was never going to let me go. I first noticed it when my alarm rang for the second time. I'd already turned it off once. My phone screen glowed pale and cold. The time read 12-0-7 again. I sat up in bed and just listened. No birds, no distant traffic, no wind. The world was holding its breath. I live alone in a small apartment on the edge of town. It's the kind of place where sounds travel through thin walls and shadows stretch a little too far. I told myself the power must have flickered, just a glitch. I stood and walked to the window. Sky was black and heavy, like wet ink. No stars, no moon. The street lights were on, but their glow didn't spread. It just fell straight down, as if the ground was swallowing it. I checked my phone again. 12-0-7. A cold chill crawled right up my arms. I tried the television. Static hissed softly. No channels, no signal. The radio only produced these low, breathing sounds between bursts of static. I shut it off quickly. It's when I heard footsteps above me. Slow, careful, deliberate. I froze. My upstairs neighbor had moved out weeks ago. I watched them carry the last box down the stairs myself. The landlord hadn't rented it out yet. The footsteps stopped directly over my bedroom. Then something scraped along the floor. Long and slow, like a nail being dragged across wood. The lights flickered once and steadied. Clock on the wall ticked loudly. 12-0-7. I whispered that someone was playing a trick. I didn't believe it for a second. The scraping turned into knocking. 3 slow taps from the ceiling. Each one echoed through my chest. Dust drifted down like ash. I backed away, bumping into the kitchen counter. My own breathing sounded way too loud. The air felt thick and stale, smelled faintly of damp soil. The knocking stopped. Silence pressed in from all sides. Then the ceiling cracked. A thin, dark line split right across it. Something wet dripped onto the floor. It wasn't water. It was warm and sticky. Its blood pooled at my feet and spread in a slow, deliberate circle. The crack widened. An eye opened inside it. It was huge and unblinking. The pupil stretched vertically, like an animal's. It looked straight at me, and I felt something crawl behind my own eyes in response. A voice filled the room. It didn't come from the ceiling. It came from everywhere. It said, the night wasn't finished with me. I ran for the door. The handle wouldn't turn. The lock rattled violently, then went still. The clock ticked louder. 12-0-7. The walls began to breathe. I saw them move in and out, like lungs. Veins surfaced beneath the paint, pulsing dark and thick. Faces pushed through the walls, screaming silently before sinking back in. The eye in the ceiling blinked. The blood on the floor began to flow backward, climbing the walls and ceiling like it was alive. It formed symbols that hurt to look at. My head throbbed, as if something was pressing inward. I covered my ears, but the sound found me anyway. Whispering, layered voices, repeating the same sentence again and again. Stay awake. The bedroom door creaked open behind me. Had closed it earlier. A shape stood in the doorway. Tall, bent at all the wrong angles. Its skin hung loose and dark. Blood streamed from its mouth and dripped onto the carpet without a sound. It took one step forward. The room stretched. The distance between us grew impossibly long. I ran, but the floor felt soft, like mud. My legs sank with every step. The thing moved without any effort, just gliding closer, while the clock ticked faster and faster. 12-0-7. I fell. Hands burst from the floor, grabbing my arms and legs. Cold fingers dug into my skin, leaving burning trails. Faces emerged from the floorboards, their mouths open in endless screams. Their eyes rolled wildly, begging and accusing at the same time. The shape loomed over me, its face peeled open, revealing only darkness beneath. Inside that darkness, I saw memories that weren't mine. People lying awake in bed, night after night, praying for morning, screaming until their voices broke, rotting in an endless darkness while the world forgot them. The voice returned, louder now. It said, "The night feeds on those who notice it." It said, "Sleep is the only escape." The eye in the ceiling burst open wider, flooding the room with black light. The hands pulled me down. The walls closed in. Blood poured from every surface, filling my mouth and lungs. I tried to scream and swallowed darkness instead. Then everything stopped. I gasped and sat upright in bed. Morning light streamed through the window. Birds chirped. Cars passed outside. My phone buzzed with notifications. The clock read 6:45. I laughed hysterically and wiped sweat from my face. A nightmare. Just a horrible nightmare. I swung my legs over the side of the bed and froze. My feet landed in something sticky. Blood soaked the carpet. I slowly looked up. The ceiling crack was still there. The eye was closed. The clock ticked 12:07. The sun outside flickered and went out. The night settled back into place. If you enjoyed this story, please show your support by liking and subscribing for more. Thanks for watching.